Stitchy friends, welcome to Cross My Stitches. My name is Jackie and today is May 20th, 2024. This is episode 102. Thank you so much for coming and joining me today and seeing what I have been up to. I haven't got a lot of stitching done, but I do have some things to share today, and I will leave any personal things at the end of the video in case you're just here for the stitching. Let's get started with what my stitchy bowl looks like. So I have a dough bowl that I use to put my stitching in, and for my spring setting I wanted to show it to you and talk about some of the things that are in the bowl. So I'm afraid I'm going to tip it, but I'm going to tip it just a little, and you can see I have a bee skep in there and a nest with some eggs and my stitching. And let's talk about what's here in this bowl. The first thing is I have some bird stitches, and these are out of my Prairie Schooler Prairie Birds book. And I really want to get all 12 of these done. I've gotten 3 done, and I've got a long way to go, but I need to get them done, and they're pretty quick. So I need to work on these and make sure I always have one kitted up to grab and go with me if I'm out and about and I want to stitch something small. So the first one is the bluebirds. And you can see that they are quite colorful and nice. I believe I have these stitched on a 32 count. It might be I'm trying to think of the name of the thing. It's not Whisper Blue. It's another one just a little bit darker than that. But this is how they came out. That's the bluebirds. This one here is the Hummer. And this one is backed in a green fabric. I never did put trim around them. I don't know if I will or not at some point, but I have not done that. And then the last one I have to share is the robins. You know, if you've watched me before, I have a war going on with my robins on my covered porch. And I think they gave up. So they're not there anymore trying to nest, although they must have built about 8 nests that we pulled down, and finally they got the hint that it's not going to happen there. But I love this with the little baby birds, and they're feeding them, and this one has just orange to match the birds. So those are the 3 from the Prairie Schooler Prairie Birds. I think the next one I'm going to do is probably going to be this yellow one, which I think is a goldfinch. Yeah, the goldfinch is probably going to be my next one right there. But there are a lot of birds on here that I absolutely love, and I really do want to do every single one of them. In fact, I see a bird right now that I don't know what that is. It's a wren, and I have one of those in my yard. And I had no idea what it was, so now I know. So you learn something new every day. So that's the first thing that's in there. The second thing that's in here is this book came out in 2022. This is Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I knew immediately that I wanted to break this design up into little pillows, and that's what I did. So the first one is Hive Rules, and that's this one here. And I'm sorry, these got like little hairs on them from animals. You know, I got cats. And there's the first one. And I put this bottom trim on here, and then the back has the bee skep and the bee. This is fabric from Hobby Lobby. And of course it has a couple of the pins in it. The second one is Be Sweet, which again, and these are all done, I believe, on a 36 count Winter Moon by Zweigart. And there's the second one, Be Sweet Like Honey. And again, it has the little pins in it, which I'm going to have to remove these pins because I'm noticing these are the pins that came from, I think, Hobby Lobby, and they are rusting. So I am getting like little, I don't know if you guys can see that little dinky spot right there. It's leaving little rest marks that are probably going to spread. So I'm probably going to take these out and use something else or put something else on it. But that's the Be Sweet. The third one is Beeswax. And that's this one here. And they make such cute little pillows. This is perfect. You've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 6 different little designs that you can do. So always think outside of the box. You don't always have to do a whole pattern. You can just pick part of a pattern and do it. You know, you learn that from um, what's her name? Kim, needleworker Kim. She does that sometimes. She'll just stitch part of a pattern instead of the whole pattern. And again, this one has the bee skip and the bee on the back. So that's the third one. There is a fourth one that I did. What did I just do with the pattern? Hold on a second. Because I forgot that I had another one in here. So this is the next one. It is Always Be Humble and Kind. And I haven't finished this one yet. And like I said, they make adorable patterns all by themselves. And then I have, I think that's it. I started it here, but it was too close to the edge. I don't know what I was thinking. So I may take this part out and just keep the always with the little bee and make something cute with that. So, and I have a couple more to do. I have plenty of fabric here to complete them, but oh, you can always cut patterns up and do them. So it's lots of fun. The other thing that I have here is bee skips that are handmade. Now I have a video. I will post it below and probably a link up here if I'm able to figure that out, of my how-to video on how to do my bee skips. And I have 2 different ones that I want to show you. The first one is the one that you've seen on the display, and this is it. And these are Dollar Tree items for the most part that I use to make my bee skip with. Okay, and it is an actual bowl. So this is a heavy one. It's an actual bowl that I got at the Dollar Tree. I put cardboard or mat board on the bottom to fill it. It has the rope that you can buy at the Dollar Tree. These are Dollar Tree flowers. I will say that the bees that are on this particular one are from Hobby Lobby in their floral department. They have these little bees on the sticks, and I thought they made such cute flying bees. So I put them on there. So that was one of the ones I've done. Then the second one is bigger, and it has a little loop. And this one here, as you can see, has lots of flowers attached to it. It has plastic beads, and I'm sure in the video I told you where I got those. I can't remember off the top of my head right now where those came from. I even have a couple of bees attached to the flowers here. And again, this is made from a flower pot. You can see inside of that. It's a flower pot. There you can see it now. And I just wrap this around the flower pot. Now I could put a bottom on this one as well. I have not done that, but it has a little hanger. So if I wanted to hang it, I could hang it. And this also sits in my display, and just so easy to make, inexpensive to make, and just great for your little display. So check out that video if you're interested in making your own how-to bee skip. And like I said, all those things should still be available at the Dollar Tree. And then, of course, I've got the little nest. I've gotten this over at Hobby Lobby during spring. And of course, now they're doing 40 or 50% off spring. You can sometimes find some really cute things. And I love a nest with eggs. So those are the things that are in my dough bowl. I'm going to move this for a minute. And talk about what I finished. So I do have a finish. I have one finish, just one small finish. I'm going to crinkle things because I'm going to move them again and get my stitching. So I wanted to share with you my one small finish. And I didn't open anything, so you might hear some noises. I apologize. Okay, where are you? There it is. Okay, so this is from Hands-On Designs Season 2, A Year of Celebrations. And I was doing June. So I got July. So I finished June. In fact, I have a fully finish on June. I'm going to share that with you in a minute. And then I have a finish on July. Put this back in here and show you my July. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count linen that I hand dyed myself. And you can see there's my July. So adorable. So adorable. I love these. So I'm going to share with you my series up to now, when I've got them on. And then I'll share my fully finished, which will be June. So I just finished that one. And of course, now I have to fully finish July. I really would like to get all of these completed this year so I can have my little display out all year round and just change the months. I don't normally like to do a monthly change, but on these little small ones, I don't mind at all. I don't want to do any big monthly ones, but I do the seasonal ones because I'd rather change just 4 times a year. But the monthly ones, I got this from somewhere. I can't remember where this idea came from, but this is how my display is. This was a stand. I'm sure it was from Hobby Lobby or somewhere. It might have been Walmart, Michael's, I don't know. It was brown. It had a saying on it. I decided I was going to paint it fully white. It's a matte white, like a chalk paint white. And then I found a clip. Now these clips, this particular one, I screwed it in. It was dark as well. I painted it white. But this clip came from the paper crafting department, and it is Tim Holtz. And they sell them in a 2 or 3 pack. And I just I drilled little holes for the screws, screwed them in, and then that's my stand. So this sits out on my display. And right now it has May on it. So this is May. Well, I'll go from all the way down. So let's go all the way from the beginning. So January is from season 1. And this is January. And this one here, and they all have this little ribbon tab at the top, so it clips on there. In this one, I have the tags hanging down, or the ribbon hanging from the bottom. That is the January one. That's the back to match a little bit of the green. So that's January. February was also from season 1. And this one here, I put cording along the edge. I've got a little dinky ribbon, as you can see, attached on it. And then I put velvet on the back. And again, it has the little hang tab. March is a leprechaun. And on the back of him, he has some green fabric that reminded me of St. Patty's Day. And these are all stitched on 32 count fabric, all different fabrics. April. In April, I did a little different. I've got beads running down for the rain. I've got it on, I don't know if you can tell, it's on a sparkly fabric. And on the back, it's got yellow to match the umbrella. Let's see, May, which is now, that is season 2. So now I've switched over to season 2, doing the season 2 ones. And again, this one has ruffles on it and it has that bee skep fabric on the back to match the bees. And just a little bit of trim around the edge. Put that back on here. And then June, which you saw me finish, but now is fully finished. Again, I used that ruffly around the edge. I turned my bird into a robin, just because they aggravated me. And it's got like a green polka dotted fabric that matches the green on the front. And then, of course, I've just showed you July. So this is what the display looks like right now. So it just hangs on there on my, this is currently on my fireplace with my dough bowl and all my other spring display items, sorry. So that's that. Okay, so I'm up to July, so that means I've got 5 more to go. So I have 5 more designs to go. I'm planning on stitching August, which is a pretty cute design. Let's see. So I have all my floss, so talk about that for a second. This is all my floss. This is for the entire series. I pulled floss, and it's all my own colors. So some of it is Classic Colorworks, it is Gast, it is Victoria Motto, and it is some DMC. So that's all the colors that I chose. I did have to change out on the July one. I was stitching it with the called for greens in the stalks, and I decided I didn't like it at all. And the reason I didn't like it is because in the picture, you know how the dye a lot changes on fancy floss and stuff. Even on DMC, sometimes the dye lots change. It just didn't give me enough contrast on all my stalks, which is what I wanted. So I had to change that out, ripped all my stalks out, put them back in again. So very happy with it now. The August one is, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, it is seagulls. Stick it right. I don't know if you can see that or not, it's seagulls. So I'm going to stitch them. I have this little bag of all different 32 count, just small pieces that I use for doing smalls, ornaments and stuff. And I think I'm going to do the seagulls in the shimmery fabric because it looks like sky and water, and I think they'd be really cute on it. I think that'll work just fine. So I'm probably going to use that piece, but I've got all sorts of greens and browns. Some of it's hand dyed by me. Some of it is just regular, like that's water lily. So I think I'm going to use the blue. And we'll see, because sometimes I'll get into stitching something and I'll decide that I don't like that fabric or I don't like that floss. And I really need to change it to what I think looks good. So I will do that. I will change it out. I have been known many, many times to, sorry about the crinkling, to stitch something part way and then decide I don't even like the fabric I'm stitching it on and just stop and restart, or stop and not restart. So it is noisy, crinkly. I apologize. So that was my finish. And then I have been working on two things. I have been working on my little blue jay, which is a soda stitch. And you would have thought I would have had him done by now. But I'm doing, like, I don't want to call it a conversion, but he is on Soda Stitch. Let me show you. On Soda Stitch, he is a winter bird, which I'm sure in a lot of places he is a winter bird, but he's a year-round bird here where I live. And you can see he has snowflakes and he has berries. And I didn't want snowflakes and berries around him. And you would think it would be just easy to change that out. But for some reason, I'm on the struggle bus with it. I have gotten a lot of the greenery around it. I think I need to add a second greenery to give it a little more, a lighter one, to give it a little more pop. And then you'll see, let me show you where I'm at. And then you will see, and this is Be Stitch Me's 36 count Winter Blues is what this is. So I'm doing it 2/2. And you can see these little blue things. Those are going to be flowers with little yellow. So they're going to be blue flowers with little yellow stems sticking out. And I'm going to add a second green to it. I just want some more, and I might put some leaves too. I probably will do the greenery around it a little more in a lighter color, do a couple of leaves, and we'll see. But I've been struggling with this, but I love him so much. He is so adorable that I love him. So he is still being worked on here and there. I think I did, like, let's see, 580 stitches on him this month, and he's still needing to be finished. The July piece that I did, whoops, forgot to put that back. The July piece that I did, the Celebrations July, that was 1,275 stitches I did on it. And then the last thing I worked on was, I talked about doing Mira Maynia for June. I have been working on Lady of the Flag, but I haven't worked on any of the other things. I said I was going to finish Miss Christmas Eve. She just has to be beaded. I still have time this month. I have not been feeling wanting to do beads, and I don't know why. Normally they don't bother me at all, but when it comes to her, I just feel a little overwhelmed with the amount of beads I have to put on her. But I've got my setup ready. I've got my beads. I just need to sit here at my desk and do it. And that's going to be part of my issue, because in order for me to do it and hold my frame steady, because she's on a scroll frame, I'm going to have to clamp her to my table like I showed the clamps, and I'm going to have to be looking down doing it, which means that my neck is going to give out on me because it'll be in pain just from doing anything looking down. Stitching, thankfully, I don't have to look down. I can hold it up and see what I'm stitching. But if I'm working on sewing or anything else where I'm fully finishing stuff and I'm looking down, my neck is just killing me after an hour. So I'm going to have to do her in phases. And I think I'm just going to lock her onto one side of my table and leave her there and just go and do a little bit at a time. I think that'll work. We'll see if I get her done before the end of the month. I also was supposed to start my Mira Maynia Silver Dragonfly, which I have not done at all because I'm not sure about the fabric. I was going to put it on natural, which I thought it would look fine, and it would, but I don't feel like it's like gonna pop or it's gonna look fantastic. I really would like to find some sort of blue or something to put it on, and I thought about like winter blue is a pretty blue. I know it's getting washed out here, but it is a gorgeous blue. That's probably better where you can see it. And I might want to put them on a winter blue, which means I would have to order a piece of fabric or dye my own. And I have been wanting to dye fabric for the last 2 weeks because I have plans for certain fabrics and I haven't done it yet. And one of the things, I'll just finish what I'm talking about now. One of the things that I wanted to do was paint a rainbow on a piece of fabric because I have a Silver Creek Samplers design that I want to do. And I want it to, and it's a design showing, it's got a saying on it, and it's got, do I have it? Oh, let me see. I am looking, there it is. Did I get it? Okay. So this is the one. I don't know why I gotta go off on these rants. It's called Through the Storms, and I want to paint the fabric to have like a rainbow across it. So I'll show you the pattern, which I think would be beautiful. So I'm going to hand paint dye this fabric. And it says, no relationship is all sunshine, but two people can share one umbrella and walk through the storms together. And it's got where you can put your initials and your date of marriage on it. And I just think it's so adorable. And I wanted to do that. And the other piece I want to dye for is going to be it has to be a half yard. And I want it to, it's a beautiful floral and bird design. And I want it to be like kind of green on the bottom and then the blue in the sky. So I need to dye those fabrics, but I also need to dye something for Silver Dragonfly or figure out what I want to put them on. But I haven't given up trying to do them because they're not that, the Silver Dragonfly and the dragonflies themselves are not that big. They're a little bead heavy, but they're not large designs. So I need to do that. Okay, back to what I was doing. Lady of the Flag. Everybody knows what Lady of the Flag is. And I have worked on her all month. So we're at the 20th. I still got time left to work on her. And this is the most love she's gotten in 4 years. And I have completed 2,983 stitches on her. So I'm going to hold her up. I wish I had gotten a board, but I didn't. So I'm just going to hold her up. And there she is. And as you can see, I have worked all this stuff over here, this entire side, because before she was striped down. Here, let me do this. Just easier. Okay. So before she was just striped all the way down the center here because of how the paging is, how I have her saved onto my MyCarp RXP. And so I had all this on this side, which, believe it or not, is 2,983 stitches completed of her. So I'm trying to work all the way to the edge. And I probably will work out and get her head and stuff down and then work my way to the bottom. But she is absolutely gorgeous and I love her. And you probably couldn't hear part of that because I just covered up my mic realizing I did that. So sorry if it was muffled. but I want to finish this side over here and just finish that one page, which I believe this is the bottom of that one page right there. And then move my way up and finish the top part. And then keep going. So I'm not sure if I'm going to work on her into the next month or not. I will try to make sure that I pull her out every holiday that is a patriotic. So we have Memorial Day coming up. We have 4th of July coming up. We have Labor Day. We have Veterans Day. Those days or those weeks, I will pull her out and I will work on her because I really want to get her completed. She has been a WIP since 2018, so 4 years, and that's way too long. I had my no WIP over 3. That was my plan. It's, and it's still taken me forever to get these things done. Miss Christmas Eve is 5 year. She's been around 5 years, and all she needs is beading. What am I waiting for? I have a frame. I have the beads. I have everything that I need. I need to get her done. So that was my Lady of the Flag. And like I said, I'll continue working on her until the end of the month. So I think that is all of my stitching. What else are we going to share? I did work on some quilting or making some quilt squares, so I'll share that with you. So a few months ago, I showed this square. This is the first one. Oh, I see a thread hanging. Get out of there. There we go. This is my first 12-inch quilt square that I did a couple months ago. I was pretty proud of myself. And so I said I was going to make a table runner with this design. This is the sawtooth block design. It's not, I keep wanting to call it Ohio Star, but it's not. It's a sawtooth block design, but this is the first one. And I did it all one color, and like I said, it was a practice piece. And then I decided I didn't want to do it all one color, and I wanted to change what I was going to do on the actual I hate this. The actual table runner, table topper, table. Sorry, I'm still having a lot of brain fog. I apologize. But this is the one I did over the weekend. So that's the colors that I thought that was really cool. So I finished that one. And then I decided to make some smaller ones. So I made this one, which is just a 6-inch one. And then I made another 6-inch one with the opposite colors. So I'm really liking how they're coming out. Like I said, I can only do like 1 or 2 at a time, not even that, before my neck gives out. So it's going to be a long haul for me to make a quilt or anything, but that's okay. So I'll share with you where I'm getting the information to make these and stuff. The first one, the 12-inch one, she has a YouTube video. She's called Erica Made. I will post her below, and she has little printouts you can get. This is sawtooth block number 1, and it was a sew with me that she did. And it tells you all the directions, what sizes to cut your fabric and how to do it and how to put them together. And that was the 12-inch one. So I decided I wanted to try 6-inch ones, and I started hunting for a 6-inch pattern, and these are from Create with Claudia. It was a mystery quilt stitch along in 2020. And again, she gives you all the information on how to make them into 6-inch blocks or 6.5-inch. And I'm trying to see, I don't know if she has it is createwithclaudia.com. I don't remember. She probably had a YouTube channel. If I watched her off a YouTube channel, then I will post that as well below, as well as Erica's, so you guys can look at that if you're interested. I did purchase some things and were gifted some things, so we'll go through that stuff. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything, because I always feel like I'm forgetting stuff. I do want to say thank you to everyone who has watched the tips and tricks videos. Oh my Lord, you guys are so awesome with your comments, and I greatly appreciate it. I do enjoy doing those types of videos. There will be a part 3 I can't say when it will be, but I already started notes. People and stitchers have started asking questions. I've got to take a drink. My throat's giving out. Sorry. I get hoarse and raspy from talking too much. But there will be a part 3. I've started making notes of certain things I want to talk about. If you have a question or anything about how to do something and you would like to ask me, please leave a comment below. You can also email me at crossmystitches@yahoo.com, and I'll be glad to go over those questions on the videos and show different things and techniques. But I do have a list going, so hopefully, I want to say, maybe in the next couple months, I'll make another video. But thank you so much for liking and subscribing to my channel, because you found me because of the tips and tricks. I was just blown away with the amount of love that I've received, the amount of comments that I've received. The amount of subscribers has just gone through the roof. I think I'm over 4,600 right now, and I'm amazed that so many people want to watch me. I'm just amazed. And I love you all. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the cares and concerns. It is wonderful. I appreciate this community is absolutely fabulous. Okay, so let's talk about things that I'll start with things that I received. Gifty received. So it was we had our stitchy day on Saturday, which is like Cumberland Stitchers, and we had a good time. Not a lot of people showed up, but it was still a wonderful time. I did have to leave a little early because I was feeling ill, but I still loved seeing everyone and spending time with them and stuff. And we always have a giveaway table. So this was brought to the giveaway table, and of course, I love these issues that are special issues. This is Halloween 2018. So lots of cute things on it, but I think that the one thing that caught my eye was the Kitty Bandit. So I want to do the Kitty Bandit. So I love these magazines. So I want to thank Alice. I think Alice brought this. Thank you, Alice, for the magazine. Also, my friend Jennifer, Stitching in the Bluegrass, sent me a little something. We have been swapping fabrics and stuff, so I want to show. Hold on just a minute, please. Sorry about the interruption. Hubby's calling, and had to pick up that call, talk to him. I'll explain all that later. Anyway, going back to what I got. So my good friend Jen, Stitching in the Bluegrass, sent me a little package, and she sent me, which I just love, these little thread drops that she had made. Isn't that the cutest thing? That's a design that she stitched, because it's got her little initials on it, and the back it says who she is, Stitching in the Bluegrass. She's Spunky Jen on Instagram. So cute. Thank you so much. She also sent this little Lizzie Kate pattern, which is adorable. I'm going to have to stitch that up and make it into that 3D type looking egg, which is adorable. Yep, I love it. It looks just like a little egg. So just too adorable. I'm sure I can find some pretty blue fabric to put that on. She sent me a piece of Lakeside Linens 32 count 32 count vintage tarnished silver. So, and it looks like this. It's grayer than that, but I'm all like that. There we go. It's a gray. It's Lakeside Linens. And then she also sent me a fat quarter of Bestitch Me, and it is called Honey, and it is a pretty, I want to say cantaloupe, but a light cantaloupe. God, the lighting in here is horrible, but you cannot see how pretty that is. Oh, like that. That's probably as close as it's going to get, a little darker than that. So just so pretty. Love it. It is 36 count, which I love stitching on. And Bestitch Me's is wonderful because they're one of the few fabrics that even in 36 count for an overdyed. A 36 count, I can still do 2/2, like I'm doing with the Blue Jay. I can do 2/2 on a 36 if I like that fuller look. And some of them you can't. You have to do the 1/2. So thank you so much, Jen, for those. And then I was thrift shopping, and which I always love to do. And I don't think I've showed this either. Oh, I have to show that. I'm going to move some of this stuff off of what I want to show you before I show this. I'm going to show this stuff because I received this, which is a corner gauge from my good friend Wendy, and it is R&R Woodworking. They are here in Kentucky. I have not had the pleasure of going over there and picking up any of their stuff, but I will put a link below to their shop. They do corner gauges. They have floss wrapping. I don't know what they call those, where you can wrap your floss for making thread drops and stuff. Sorry. They have all sorts of stuff they make out of wood, which is lots of fun. They make needle minders, so I will link them below, but absolutely love that. That's the first thing I've gotten from them. So I love that. Thank you. And Wendy and I also went thrifting one day. So every once in a while, we try to meet up as much as we can. Usually during the week, we meet halfway, which is about 40 minutes for each of us to drive to meet. And there's a couple of thrift stores there. There's a Salvation Army and there's a Goodwill. So in the Salvation Army, I found this for $2.99, and it is milk glass. Isn't that absolutely fabulous? Look how big that is. Could you see this having a design in it, a puffy design, and sitting with the design at the top? Wouldn't that look awesome? It's nice and round, and you could build, oh my God, the thought of doing some of these things, or using this, putting a doily in the bottom and putting all my strawberries, once I get them finished, in there, wouldn't that be adorable? It's quite huge. So I got that for $2.99, which was just blew me away. I was like, yes, please. And I noticed I got some other things, but I can't remember what they were. I was at a Goodwill. I think it was my local Goodwill here, and I found this, which I thought was, and this, some of the things that drive me nuts is it's extremely difficult. Sorry, my hair looks like I was starting to sweat. The air conditioner finally shut off. Sorry about that noise. It's very difficult to find oval or round frames. So if you want to frame anything in oval or round, you really got to hunt. So if you find a good deal, jump on it. The square ones, I can cut and miter those, no problem whatsoever. You can't cut and miter an oval frame. So anytime I find some that I think will work for something, I get it. So I got this one for $1.99 at my thrift store. And of course, don't you love the guy that's in it? But it is an oval frame with a mat. And it has a stand if you want to use it, or it has the lip up here. It is plastic, but I'm fine with that. I certainly could repaint it. It has a couple of marks on it. But if I wanted to put something in an oval frame, this is perfect. So $1.99. And then I found 3 of these round frames, and they had plates in them. So it was a set of 3 pack, a set of 3 in the thrift store. And they had 2 sets. He had advertised, he puts all these things on Facebook to show you what he's got, and it is a Good Samaritan thrift store. Very nice gentleman that owns it. He's a, and he's a, I want to say 301c charity. I can't think of what it is right now because my mind's going blank, but he does donate everything to charity. He is a nonprofit organization. There you go. And I saw there was 2 sets he advertised. I went in the next day. One of them was gone because I would have bought all 6 of these frames, and they had plates in them, but there was a great price. So I bought the 3 that were left. They're a little dinged and stuff, but they are round. They are 8.5-inch, and they had plates in them, which was, I told them, I said, I bought them 3 for $8. And I took these up to the counter and I said, I asked the young lady that was ringing me up, I said, do you want the plates? Do you guys want the plates back? Because you can resell them again. I said, I don't want the plates. I'll throw them away. So the owner came up behind her and she said, she wants me to, take the plates out, and do you want them? He said, no, I don't. He said, what am I going to do with them? I said, well, you resell them or you can do what you want with them. He said, no. He said, but I'll sell you all 6 or all 3 of them for $6 instead of $8. I'm like, okay, but if you don't want the plates, fine, I'll get rid of them. And then he come back a minute later, he said, no, I'm going to take the plates because I know somebody that will be interested in them. I'm like, okay, so I gave the plates. I don't need the plates, but I have the frame. So I have 3 of these, and I love that they have these clips on the back. So not only because they're plate frames, they have these clips that hold whatever you're putting in it, which is awesome because you can put stitching in there and it will hold the stitching in, and you could change it out if you wanted. So always look at things. If you see frames like this and they have the plates in them and stuff, and you can get them at a good price, absolutely great item. And 8.5 inches, I'm sure I have some things I want to stitch that are 8-inch ovals. I could repaint them. You know, I could do what I want with them, but I think for $6, that was $2 a frame. Can't pass that up. So I got those at the thrift store. I think that's the only things that I got at the thrift store. The rest was either, don't roll off, online, stash unloading, 1-2-3 stitch, those kind of things. I did pick up some, and I don't know if I shared this last time or not. Someone is stitching a pattern, and I want to say that it is, I'm almost sure it is. What is her name? Steadfast Stitcher. What is her name? I can't remember. The Steadfast Stitcher, she's stitching a monochromatic design with Chloris. So Chloris is made by DMC. It is a multicolored floss, but she's doing it in this color here. And I absolutely love the design she's doing and how she's doing it. So I bought 2 of those. And of course, when I went to the Michaels that I shopped at and I was looking at these, they didn't have much left. Apparently, a lot of people wanted to buy this stuff. It said $2.99 a skein. I'm like, that's really high. And of course, it was 30% off or whatever. So I got 3 of them. I only had 2 of the blue left, and I got 1 of the red and brown. And I got to the counter and rung up, and they were only $1.59 and then 30% off. And I would have been like, I would have bought a lot more if I'd known they were $1.59 instead of $2.99. So this weekend, of course, is Memorial Weekend coming up. And my husband's taking me into Lexington because we're going to visit this huge Peddler's Mall that we love going to. We've only been there once before, but it's so fun. 3 floors you can walk through, lots of exercise, and lots of things to see, which is great. But I'm going to go to Michael's and I'm going to try to get some more Chloris because I love it. I think it's really cool. And I have several designs that I want to do that I would like to do in a variated color, one color. So we'll see. We'll see. I got my fabric for last month. That was Bestitch Me. This is a 32 count Lugana. This is called April Showers, and it is, oh yeah, you see it right there? It is gorgeous. Who doesn't love Bestitch Me fabric? She is awesome. She dyes beautifully. The fabric doesn't shrink. I like the Lugana to stitch on because it's an even weave, so my stitches do lay a lot flatter and nicer when it's not linen. Not that I don't like stitching on linen. I will stitch on anything, Ada, linen, anything. Her fabrics are awesome. And you know, one of the things I love about Bestitch Me is not only her beautiful fabrics, and she has beautiful floss silks and stuff, which I haven't tried yet, which I really need to. She is so generous with her customers, with her clients. So generous. And you know, we do the Friday night fight night on her Facebook page. And then she, at the end of the Friday night fight night, before she ships everything out, she does a giveaway of stuff, fabrics, floss, designs. She is so generous to send those out with the patterns. So I haven't won anything yet, but I'm hopeful when you do the Friday night fight night that you can join in on that. But love her fabrics, can't wait to see. So this month should be a neutral, so I'm excited to see that. I got a piece, and these are on unload. I got a piece of 30 count R&R for the Cure. This was a special die for breast cancer awareness, and you can see it's very beigey pink, which I love because I have a design that I think this would be beautiful on. It is called it's called Mouth of the Flower. It is from, I can't remember who the designer is. Some of you probably have seen it. I don't have it. I couldn't find the pattern, don't know what I did with it. But it is a design that has birds and flowers, but it looks like a lady's face, which is really cool. But this fabric would be perfect. The shading is just perfect to look like skin. So I got that. I picked up these from Unload, and I got a half of yard of 32 count antique white linen. So I got that. I got an 18 count piece of cream Aida, a 18 count white Aida. These are small pieces that I'm going to dye. Let's see what else. I got some floss. So Barn Gray, Gentle Arts, Black Raspberry Jam, which is like a navy. You can see it there, it's pretty. Picket Fence and Kudzu, which is a week's dye work. So I got those on Unload. I got a brand new Thread Heaven. I don't know what Thread Heaven is. This stuff went out of business. You can't even find it anymore without spending $20 or $30. I spent $4 and got Thread Heaven. So I like using that. I got Scary Berry off of the Unload group because I am still collecting berries, still doing them. And this lady was sweet enough to send me her template, which is a piece of mat board, and it's the template for it. So that was very, very sweet. I want to do this one larger. I think I'm going to do this on a 28 count and make it a bigger berry. That's my plan for that one. These I got from there. I got Prairie Schoolers Garden Alphabet. I showed you all my Prairie Schoolers. I'm still collecting. I love this alphabet. I can really see doing that or spelling something out. Maybe I can spell out Jackie and make a little plaque for my door, my room. That would be cool. I might do that. But Prairie Schooler, gotta have the Prairie Schoolers, gotta have all the I know some of you are like, gotta have all the Blackbird designs. I have to have all the Prairie Schoolers. I picked this one up off of Unload, and it is Carolyn Manning, When Stars Collide. It was on sale. It was a cheap, cheap price, and I thought that was really different. It was almost like a quilt, and that's what drew me to it. And I like it's got the nature colors, the greens, the browns, the tans, just very nature-ish. So don't know if or when I'll start that, but I really do like it. And I can see taking part of these designs and just doing part of it instead of all of it. I can see that happening too. I picked up all these little cards. Of course, they're Prairie Schooler. There's a little tree. I like doing the little ornaments. There is a snowman. Halloween. Halloween. Nope, that's not Halloween. Nope, that's a house. So just cute little cards. I got another lavender and lace. This one is the Spirit of Christmas. This is the other Santa that I wanted to do, and I didn't have it. Picked up Jenny Bean and Friends. This is Jenny Bean's Friendship Sampler, which is, I think, is really cute. Little neighborhood. Jolly Truck Star Ornament from Teresa Kogut. She's got several of these designs that come out in stars. I don't have any, and I really love them, so at least I got one now. If there's more, I'm going to have to see if I can find along the way. I got Hilda Booz and Sunflowers 2, Brenda Gervais, because I'm in the With Eye, Needle, and Thread. Gotta have it. Bandwagon. This was really cute. It was like $1. This is Lavender Wings. It is called And a Partridge, and I just thought he was so cute. I just love him. I think he's adorable. I don't know if I can stitch him. Let's see, he is 54 by 73, so he's not that big. So if you do on 32 count, he's 3 3/8 by 4.5. And I think he would make a great ornament. So I'm probably going to make him into an ornament. And then I got this, which is cute because I love kitties, and it is Buttercup Designs. Keep it clean. And what I loved about this is it says clean and dirty for the dogs and the cats, but I'm going to combine the kitty one somehow, and I'm going to make it into a magnet for my dishwasher so I know if the dishwasher is clean or dirty. I used to have one many years ago when I cross stitched. It had two sides to it. It was upside down, and you'd have one side say clean, one would say dirty. You'd flip it either way, and you'd know so you didn't stick things in the wrong place. And we need that here because we always have to check the dishwasher to see, is it clean, is it dirty? We can't remember. So I'm definitely going to have to make those and put them on there. Maybe I'll make one dog one and one cat one. And that's my plan for that. I got this, which is Homespun Elegance Charming Welcomes number 3. I just thought they were cute. And they include, well, you have to get the little charms and stuff, but I'm sure I can find something to put in the center of those welcomes, and it's just seasonal. So I could just a little frame, and I might have that frame, come to think of it, and just switch it out to seasonals, more vintagey or more prim, which I like. And then I got this one as well because it had something to do with stitching. May your handworks fulfill our heart's desires. May our handworks fulfill our heart's desires. This is Homespun Elegance 2. And just thought that was pretty. Nice little prim design. I got a kit for $5. And it is a Marjolaine Baston, and everybody knows I love Marjolaine Baston. It is a full kit, and I think it's beautiful. And it is called Blue Spring Bouquet. And it looks like it's got a lot of confetti stitching in it, but I don't care. It's not that big. It's not that big. It is, let's see if it says 100% cotton fabrics. It's got the threads. It's 14 count Aida. And it does not say what size it is, but I don't think it's that big. And then I got this one, which was awesome. I think I paid $8 for this pattern. And I know it's sought after, but it's Monopoly. God, I played a lot of Monopoly when I was a kid. And that's a beautiful design. Great for a person that loves board games and stuff. And I like how they did different little ornaments and stuff that they did with some of the designs. So it is really nice. It is to scale, which is nice. And I know Just Keep Stitching. Pam, I think she was doing that. I think she did that. So really cool. And then I got a few things from, oh, and then I got this, which I thought was cool too. I think I paid $1 for it or something. It is Caron Water Lilies, but it is called Snow. And it is so sparkly. I don't know if you guys can see that sparkle, but I just said, oh, that would be beautiful snow sparkle for some design somewhere along the way. And it was worth the $1 or $1.50 that I paid for it. So at 123 Stitch, I'm sure I showed this before, but this is one of the designs as well that I need to dye some Aida for, and it is Wizard of Oz tree, which is Tiny Modernist. I think I showed that before, but I'm trying to find some sparkle. I would like to do it like oh my god, I forgot her name now. I can't remember, but somebody stitched this, and it was Laura Stitching by the Shore, and she did on blue sparkly fabric, and I really like that. So I'm hoping this weekend I can go to Michael's or Joann's and find some Aida that's sparkly white, and I'll just dye my own. But I picked these up on, 1, 2, 3 stitch, and the first one is, and I picked this up because you can't find these anymore there because the blackberry rabbit doesn't exist anymore. It is now fox and rabbit. And so the dragon queen, because I have this thing about dragons all of a sudden again. And they have this design two ways. They have it this way, and then they have it as 4 dragonflies in a round with this design. And it's actually just this design times 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You could do it that way if you just take the one design and rotate it around. But I love it with the crown and the flowers and stuff. So I got that. And with the dragonfly, you needed this cording. So I ended up buying the cording for the wings and stuff because I wanted to make sure I had it. I bought this pattern, which is a Stony Creek. I saw somebody stitching this. I'm not sure who it is. If you're watching my channel and you're stitching this pattern, please let me know who you are. If you're on Flosstube or you're on Instagram, because I would love to see the progress. Somebody is stitching this, that I saw the progress, and I'm like, where did that come from? And it is called The Power of Love. And it says, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. And how true is that? That the things that are going on in our country right now, and I'm not going to get political, that there's too many people trying to get control of power, and they're loving power instead of what they should be doing. So it's a beautiful design. I absolutely love it. Love the leaves on it. Love the whole thing. So I can see that being a start real soon, this year sometime. I'm going to look and see what it takes, what it's, and I'm sure it is. It's all DMC or Anchor. It does have Spanish Olives, Threadworks, Overdyed Floss, which I do have already. And then it's got Weeks Dye Works Molasses, which is overdyed, but it says you can substitute with 3031, which is probably what I'll do. I might have molasses though, but I have a feeling that's what the words are written in. Let's see, is that, yes, it is. So I would use 3031 in the words, which will be fine with me. It doesn't even look like they're overdyed. They don't have much modeling at all, so that'll work for me. So definitely want to get that done on a cream fabric because they look like they have it on a cream fabric. 28 count ivory Jobelin 2/2. Yep, it's an ivory and it looks really pretty with those browns. So I got that. And then this one I couldn't resist. There's a series of 3. This is the first one out. Summer House Stitchworks Faith. And again, just, I mean, how do you not love that design? And she showed all 3. She hasn't released all 3, but she's shown all 3, and they're all in this beautiful colors. It's in navy blue, which is 823, golden olive 831, and gray green 926. And she tells you how many skeins you need to complete it. And it's trimmed with Grubby Frog rayon ribbon from Lady Dot Creates. And just beautiful, beautiful. I had to have it. And then, of course, watching Laura stitching in, stitching in the bluegrass. Watching Laura, and I just said it, stitching by the shore. I had to get some of the floche. So I got 1 white and 1 black of floche. And I want to see how it stitches up. I have not tried it yet. It does not look that thick. They said it's about 2 strands of DMC, but to me it doesn't look that thick. But if it's got better coverage and I can do a 36 or 40 count with this, I will. So we will see. And that, my friends, is it. Oh, it's not it, is it? Because we have giveaways. Yes, we do. Okay, so let's talk about the previous giveaways. So I did hear from 2 people for the giveaways. I'm looking here for it. I heard from 2 people on the first giveaway that I did, and I didn't hear from 2 other people. So I'm going to, I redrew for the 2 items that were not claimed because as I'm doing these giveaways, it's always going to be the same rules. Be over 18. Do not say the trigger words, giveaway, free, You know, those things. You know the words. You know the words that we don't want. And if you do put the words in there, I'm going to have to delete your comment because I don't want people getting these things that are not stitchers. So, and they search for those things through videos trying to find them so they can get put in for free stuff. So we don't want that to happen. And so I do give you until the next video to send me an email response to my email, which I put down below, crossmystitches@yahoo.com, and let me know your full name and address so I can mail them to you. But I had two that were not claimed in the previous video. So I redrew them again. And the first one was Santa of the Forest. And my new person winning is L Bacon 4169. So L Bacon, please send me an email to my email address that's below. You have won Santa of the Forest. He is in just a Ziploc bag, but you've got the picture and the pattern, and they are great shape. So that's the first one. So you have 2 weeks. If I don't hear from you, I'll draw again. And the second one was, shockingly enough, was the bag. That the person did not respond to me for my beautiful bag that I made. Right, and inside it's got this beautiful green fabric and the pocket in the back. And so my new person that I drew is Cindy Spector. Cindy Spector, you won the project bag. So please give me a message, send me an email below, and make sure you're titling what you won so I will remember who you are. So if it's the project bag, put in the title of the email, project bag. If you won the Santa, put Santa in the title for me, help me out. And Cindy, this project bag is yours. You have 2 weeks to respond in email with your full name and address, and I'll send that out to you. So now we have 3 things we are giving away because we were doing the 3,000 subscriber and the 4,000 subscriber. And we'll go through these things now. The first thing was, and I didn't write these names down, so where is my little pad? I probably should have done that. So let me just take a second to do that so I remember who's who. And that one is this one. And then hold, please. In case I butcher your name or something, at least you can see it on the screen because sometimes that happens. And okay, sorry about the delay. Hope you got a chance to go take a sip of something or take a bathroom break. The first one is Virtues. This one I stitched before. I haven't got it framed yet, but love this one. And the winner of this one is Mandy Moran. Sorry, I'm butchering names. I apologize. Mandy Moran 7714. You won the Virtues pattern. Please send me an email below. Put Virtues in the title of the email so I will know that's what that is for. The second one was Lovebird by Just Another Button Company. And Arlene Curry, you are the winner of the Lovebird pattern. Send me an email below, please. My email is below. Put in their title, Lovebird. And the last one was the Dimensions Gold Kit, which is a treasured time. You had to say time. And it looks like this. Beautiful, beautiful pattern. Absolutely just gorgeous. Lots of work, but for someone who wants to put in that work, and I have seen people do this and took all the people out, which was just fabulous too. I don't know who did that. Go on Instagram and look at do a search for this pattern and a hashtag, and they took the people out, and it was just beautiful. So Mama D Stitchery, you won the pattern. Congratulations. So again, send me an email, put in there dimensions kit, and I will get that out to you. And that is it. That is all of it. I'm not going to do any more drawings today. And hopefully in the next time I do my video, I'll be cleared out of getting these mailed out. And then I will do a couple more drawings. I'm going to do something a little different. And that will help with me sending stuff out so it's not costing as much, not doing as much mailing as I need to. And so that was that. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, stitchy related, is my upcoming stitch along, which is let me see if I can find a picture. I'm sure I probably have one in here somewhere. Not there. Cross stitch. Where is my pictures? I don't have it. Nuts, nuts, nuts. I am just not organized lately. I have, let's see. I'm sorry. I hate to talk about something and not show what I'm talking about because then it becomes confusing, and I know what I'm looking for. But why can't I find it? Keep notes. There it is. Keep notes. There we go. Barefoot Days. So we talked about starting this the 1st of June. It's called, if I can turn it, there it is. Barefoot Days. It's by Leela Studio. And look at those little flip-flops. Those are so freaking adorable. I've got it all set to start on the 1st. If you're joining me, you can join anytime you want. Adorable kit. She did put this back on her Etsy shop as a PDF, so you can do an instant download for it. And I am all set to start mine. I know my friend Wendy is joining me. I know a couple of you have mentioned that you're going to join me in it. We're going to do hashtag LS for Lila Studio, LS Barefoot Days Sal. I'm going to put it right up here so that we can follow along on Instagram. I always love seeing pictures of things that everybody's working on and stuff, especially if it's things that I'm working on and we're doing it together for you to share. If you're already working on this and you have it as a whip, please jump in. Use the hashtag so I can see how yours is coming out. I can't wait to get these finished. In fact, I will probably do a finishing tutorial on the flip-flops. After we're done stitching, I will do a tutorial at some point to show how to finish these. She has the instructions all there, but it'll be fun for people to watch and see how it's done. So I will be doing a tutorial for that. So I'm excited about starting Lila's Studios Barefoot Days flip-flops out. This is going to be barefoot, no flip-flop. Hashtag LS Barefoot Days Sal, S-A-L. So excited about that. Okay, that's all I have that is stitchy related. For those of you who want a life update, I can give that to you. It has been a rough couple of weeks. It's been 2 weeks now that my little dog, Festus, my little dachshund, passed away. I might have talked about him once or twice before, that he was he's a tweenie. He was a dachshund Chihuahua mix. My husband found him before we even knew each other. He had found him. He was 4 weeks old, running in the road on a down a country road in Florida. And he ran out in the middle of the road and then ran back. And he said he thought it was a squirrel. He didn't know what it was. And because it was just small and it darted. So he stopped his Jeep, got out, walked around, and called, "Come here," did his little call thing. And here come this little baby dachshund, tweenie, about 4 weeks old, 5 weeks old, and ran to him and jumped into his hand. And he just immediately was, smitten with this little dog, and he took it home and he kept it. So years later, here we are, 13 years, the little dog passed away. My husband was absolutely heartbroken. He is still not over it. He is struggling with this because it was his little baby. He doesn't have any children of his own, and that was his child. And it's been difficult. We are still working on doing the grave marker in the back and stuff. The dog was having seizures. He had seizures throughout most of the time that I knew him. He had seizures, and we figured out first it was grain seizures. And because the vets were no help to try to figure out, they thought he had epilepsy, and they were like, wanted to put him on epilepsy medicine, and you had to do it at a certain time every day. And with the two of us working in crazy hours, that wasn't possible. And we figured out that one of the things was grain. So once we cut out grain in his diet, started feeding him grain free, then he was doing much, much better. And he would have a seizure, but it was not that bad, and it could be months before he would have just a mild, a seizure. And the last 8 or 9 months, they had gotten really bad, and we couldn't figure out what was causing the seizures. And they were progressively getting worse and longer. And we're really concerned because they say if it goes beyond 5 minutes, that's really could cause some detrimental damage to the brain and other things. And so the one he had 2 weeks ago Sunday was epic. It was epic. It was heart-wrenching to watch him go through it for 35 plus minutes. We were blown away that he was going through it for this amount of time. He would start to come out of it, and then it would go right back in again and start to come out. And right at the end, we could kind of tell, we knew that this was going to be it. He started, half of his face froze, because he's making noises and jerking, but the eye is not blinking. The mouth is not moving on this side. His ear is not moving, but the other side is. And we're like, oh, this is going to be it. And it was. He didn't survive the seizure. And it was heart-wrenching to watch for the two of us, and then having to bury him. And so he has a plot in the backyard, in the corner of our yard, under the shady trees. And we're still working on setting up a marker and stuff, because we have plans on doing something special, and it's taking a little time. So now I'm down to my 2 pussycats, and I have a feeling my husband's going to want a dog again because he feels lost, literally lost, without taking care of the dog. I mean, he immediately gets up because he thinks he has to take the dog to go to the bathroom, or, he's looking for him, or, it's been rough. It's been rough. And I know, you can't replace the animal, but I think he misses that routine of having a dog and taking care of him and loving on him and stuff. So I have a feeling we'll end up with another dog, even though we said after the animals pass away we would not do any more animals because we're getting older. I'm going to have to give in because I have a feeling he wants another little dog. So we'll see. We will see. As for me, it's been, off and on. And it started off rough today, but I seem to have gotten it together enough to do the video. And I finally have a diagnosis after all these years. And it's been over 2 years trying to get doctors to tell me what is wrong with me. And I will say, I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but it is an autoimmune disease. So it is not curable. It is manageable, but not curable. And I still haven't heard from them as far as what the plan is going to be, because I just got the test results back last week from the blood test, and it clearly shows what it is. And they have not contacted me yet. I think I'm going to have to find another rheumatologist, although I do like him, that his office is dropping the ball, because as soon as they saw that diagnosis on a blood test, they should have contacted me to come back in and talk to me, but they haven't yet. So it has its ups and downs day. Like I said earlier in the video, I had to leave partway through my stitchy day, my meetup for the month. And there are days that I'm not having a good day, and it's stomachs and knots and migraines, and my body hurts and aches, and I can't stay awake. I'm so tired. It just literally drains me to death, and I can't function right. but it's going to get better because now we know what it is. Hopefully we can get on a plan to try to combat some of it. So there's no cure-all for it, but there's ways to manage. So that's the plan. And I'm doing okay, though. I'm okay. Don't worry, my friends. I'm still going to be around shooting videos, sharing my love of cross stitch and other crafts, because that is my outlet into the world right now when I'm not working. You know, I get to see my stitchy friends every once in a long while, and then I get to share with you guys what I'm doing. So I think that's it. I can't see anything else that I wanted to talk about right at the moment. So I want to say thank you again for watching and subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, please think about hitting the subscribe button and the notifications so you know when I upload videos. I will be back in a couple of weeks, and it may not be quite 2 weeks this time. So if we're doing if your name was called for the giveaways, it may be just 10 or 11 days. So it's until the next video. So it could be a little before 2 weeks. It could be a little after 2 weeks. So if your name is called, please get back to me as soon as possible so we make sure that you get the prize that you won. And thank you for watching. And I will see you guys on the next video. You have a great day. Bye.